Starting the recording. Everybody go ahead and grab a seat. Let's get started for this, the KnifeKnox team meeting. So, everybody, real quick, I want to start out. Highlights, hot news from the week. What have we done? Take you out. Sue you. Appreciate your assistance today. Feel like we got some goods from you. I cannot wait to see it. Cannot wait to see it. So, everybody, welcome to the 865KnifeKnox team meeting. I am Brandon Phillips, your district manager. Super excited. Just as we're approaching summertime, like this is my favorite time of year because this is the time that if you tee this up right, you can crush your entire summer. The summer is not made in June and July. That is what I call your, what's the best running word for it? Your flow, where you're like, you've hit that 2 mile, 3 mile mark, and you're just running on that high, right? The runner's high kicks in, right? That's what June and July is supposed to be. When it comes to starting out, what you do in May sets you up for June and July.
So it's the prep.
Yes, right? And what I mean by this is if you have a good schedule, if you have a good set of referrals and people to call, you're going to be in a place to where you're able to run through May and be productive as you transition from finishing school to being able to start doing your demos. Okay. Without the, oh, but I have class on Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, but I have class on Monday. Oh, but I have this exam. Oh, but I have this final project. Right. So for the agenda today, we're going to start out as we usually do with our phone jam. All right. I'm really excited for the changes coming as well, just because as we start to move in to summer mode, we actually get done a lot earlier, right? So my goal is that we start team meetings at 5:30 as we hit April 24th. And then from there, we're like headed to team night out by 7:30. But here's the deal, just like I do with my recruiting staff. If we have not hit the goal yet for the phone jam, we will be here till 8 and then we'll just go later to team night out, okay? So phone jam to start us off. The mantra and the icebreaker, talk about WhatsApp, the social media posts that we've been having a lot of success with, been loving the people that I'm interviewing right now. Like, they have been fire. Jed just finished an interview. How was Spencer?
Spencer was good.
Spencer was great. I ran an interview yesterday. I had 4 people where I'm like, oh my goodness, any of you could sell 10K in your first 10 days.
That was a really cool interview.
Molly got to watch it, right? So we're going to make sure our social media post gets up, talk about not really spring schedule anymore, a little typo there. What we have coming up with the summer schedule. We have a guest speaker today. I'm not going to announce who it is. I had a secondary guest speaker too that was supposed to speak, but he is in Miami right now. So he has fight night tickets for whatever fight's going on down there. And so he's like, hey man, probably not tonight. Okay. So that said, we'll talk about the role play and the challenge for the day. Hey, Nevaeh, what's up? Glad to see that the hail did not stop you from getting here.
Oh, I love the hair.
It was what? Traffic was bad, you said? Cool. Yes, listen to Kira real quick. So, PDI? Huh? Text her back. So, passcode again is the office phone number. Password is Cutco with a capital C whenever you're joining in from Zoom, okay? So, PDI, recognition for it. P staff, promotions, and then PCs, making sure that we have it set up for this next week. Either myself, Jed, Molly, or Brink will sit down with you in this next week to work on schedules and make sure they're on point. Might even have our guest speaker assist with this process as well, depending on, you know, his availability and how busy he is, because he's got some goods today. He even made a slideshow and called me at like 11 o'clock last night. Said, hey, like, what do I need to do with this? And I was like, oh man, it's all good. It's all good. So after that, Vector Impact, because there was only one person this past week that is using the app on every single demo. That person is also our newest team member. All right. So we're going to make sure that we are putting everything in the Vector Impact app. And then from there, we will adjourn. All right. So for the phone jam to kick it off. All right. Every single time that you phone, first 2 questions I always ask to help prep our list. Who rescheduled or canceled this past week? That, oh my goodness, no, like we need to get this appointment on the books. Second is who's on your top 10 to 20 list that you need to call. All right. And one thing that I want to go ahead and get out there and like really put emphasis on, if you've had an issue getting more leads, if you've had a problem getting referrals on your appointments, if you're struggling to think about your names list and who else you could add to it, what do you need to do? Yes, right? Get time with me. If you get time with me, I'm going to be able to sit down with you and help you come up with more names and numbers, help you work on your referral approach to get better at it. And I feel like that is one of the most important things, because if you have people to call, like, can we all admit that the demo part of the job is not hard whatsoever? Yeah, right? Like, the demos are easy. The demos are actually fun. And my favorite part is, like, as you get really good, you start taking those people that are like, hey, I'll give you just the time of day, but I'm not going to buy anything. Who's told to somebody that said they weren't going to buy something? I think that's my favorite part. Okay. So as we call, what you need, 3 things. First off, your script, list of who you're going to call. And then from there, you need your schedule, right? You need to know when you're offering times. My advice on every single phone call before you press call is you already know which 2 times you're going to offer and which 2 backup times you're going to offer as well. From there, when you call, it is not oh, I called 3 people, they're not answering. What do? We make more calls. Who is next, right? That is the mentality. Make sure you follow your script. Make sure you're smiling while you're dialing, because people can hear it. Like, they know if you are not smiling while you make your phone calls, okay? And then always offer the 2 times, right? Now, here's what we're doing today for the drawing. Wrote a couple of things on the board. Our demo goal today is to get 20 booked. I want to have an office of 30 to 35 booked ahead, because there's some people in here that have a bunch of demos ahead already, and there's some that have a couple, right? I want to get 30 to 35 demos ahead as an entire office. For the giveaway, 1 entry for every boom. I wrote the wrong word. I'm sorry, Kira. Every Zam past 2. So you book 2, that's 1 entry. 3 is 2 entries, etc. Okay. From there, $10 Cutco bucks. I'm going to do it extra special today for the post. So for your post today, I'm doing the $10 of Cutco bucks at my rate. I get Cutco products for 1/3 of the price. So that means if you get 10 Cutco bucks, it actually counts as how many Cutco bucks? Very good. I have some math people in here. That's good. Okay. So everybody go to your battle stations on where you're phoning from. This phone jam is going to go today until 6:50. I'm going to give you a solid 40 minutes to phone. But again, if we're not at the goal, we're going until 7, where we kick off the actual team meeting portion of today. All right. You can phone from my office, from this office, from this office, from the kitchen, wherever you'd like to. All right. I'm playing tunes. I'm recognizing Zams. If you're on Zoom, hey, unmute, yell Zam, right? We want to hear it. And yes, if you're in your dorm, your roommate's going to look at you a little funky, right? And that's okay, because you're making money and they're not. So everybody get your phone jam ready, pausing this recording, because, we don't need a 2-hour video going up on YouTube. And I look forward to us hitting these 20 Zams. All right. So is it in?
Yes.
Always got 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. So finishing out the phone jam, reading it from the top. We got Carter with 2, Peyton got 1, Maddie with 4, leading the way. Fire. Let's go.
Really? Oh my gosh, I did make 40 calls.
Way to go, Molly.
That's the thing.
Molly with 2, Audrey with 2, Nevaeh with 2, Manny with 1, Zach with 1, Jeb with 2, Brink with 3. I love it. I love it. Y'all know what's really cool is when we look at the averages, as we're calling referrals, what's the ratio we look at? 1 for 10. Okay. If we look at how many demos we got booked, 19 divided by 204, that is literally just 1 off. That is pretty good. All right, so everybody give yourself a nice little round of applause, all right? This is what's really cool about this job, is if you just follow the numbers, they will play out. Maybe they didn't play out in your favor today, right? But you can see the averages work overall. And so if you had a great phone jam today, for instance, like Maddie led the way with 4, right? Yo, cool. You've got a good phone jam coming, and you've got a bad phone jam coming. If today was your bad phone jam, then you've got a good phone jam coming and a great phone jam coming. And if today was your good phone jam, well, you have a great one coming and you've got a bad one coming, right? And so this is what we always dial in waves of 3. The quicker that you can make your calls and actually go through these cycles, calling in the evening, calling in the morning, calling in the afternoon. What's really cool is you find out when that person's best available, all right? So just because somebody didn't answer does not mean that you don't want to call them again. You are not a bother. If you call me, for instance, I had a client that's been emailing me. They sent me 2 emails. My assistant has finally gotten back to them. Literally, she's telling me about it, and 5 minutes later, The client calls me again for the second time today. Like, hey, I'm not sure if you saw, we sent you a couple emails to be able to get the shipping label sent out. Right? I was like, oh, dude, actually, my assistant and I were just talking about this. We're getting this addressed today. Right? I got double dialed from a client, and it worked. Right? Because when you see a number multiple times, what do you realize?
They're trying to get in touch with you.
Correct. Right? What's up, Jed?
Tomorrow, I'm actually a guy with a reference has been lodged in my phone, so I'm showing up in person to introduce myself.
I love that.
If you want to change the name,
Right? And that's not weird, right? What does that mean? What does that show? Yeah, it shows I actually want to meet you, right? Hey, I'm sure that you're super busy. I've been wanting to like get in touch with you. I've actually been referred to you by such and such, and they had nothing but great things to say about you. So I just wanted to like meet you. I want to make sure we at least got some time to be able to introduce each other, even if we never do business together. I've just heard such great things about you that I had to meet you, right? That's what's really cool. You get to create your own luck here, okay? So everybody, I'm not sure if you heard, but we're the 865KnifeKnox, and our goal for this year is to do $1 million in sales.
Sam.
Oh, there we go. I love that. Right, Peyton? This might be the first time you've heard that. I'm not sure, right? That said, anytime that we go on stage at a conference, they let us do our push report. If you've gone as a sales rep and you're up on stage for like the final 10, that's what's really, really cool. Is you get to give your push report. And so it'll look something like, hi, my name's Zach Wallace. I'm from the 865KnifeKnox, and I sold $22,340 for the push. And everybody in the crowd yells.
Damn.
And when we have 3, 4, 5, 6 people that get to give their push report, everybody starts catching on to what our motto is. And it goes from like, okay, our team said it. So, okay, a couple people hopped in. To now the entire audience of 500 people at SE2 is yelling
Damn.
at the same as a rapper would say, dang time. Okay. So today's icebreaker, we are going to split up into groups of 2. Zoomies, y'all can just talk to each other. If you could meet your favorite historical figure, who would that be? All right. And since we got 3 in a row here and 3 in a row there, let's split it up that way. So we got 4 on Zoom, 3 and 3. All right. Everybody talk, conversate. Who's your favorite historical figure and why? And then one person from the group is going to be the spokesperson, right? Who had the most interesting historical figure. They aren't alive. They aren't alive. Or they maybe could be alive.
They're dead. They're dead.
Yeah.
Someone gotta be dead.
Okay, they got to be dead. That's the rule. So, Zoomies, go.
They gotta be dead. Oh, we died. Rosa Parks.
So I'll go first. I think the person that I would meet probably be Julius Caesar. I always thought he was a phenomenal leader, and he also took over one of the most powerful countries in the world. So I'm impressed. So I would say Julius Caesar. Olivia, you want to go next?
I don't really know history like that, but I guess, and I'm not like, I don't have a favorite historian or anything like that, but I'd want to meet the people who did like anything bad, like Hitler, for example, and just like figure out why. Like, why did you, like, what was the reason?
Okay. Let's see. Peyton, I guess you're next.
I can't really think of no one really other than like Martin Luther King, because like
Good one.
that was a big event, like, and it's still impacting events today.
True.
So
True. Maddie?
Well, I also don't really know history like that. Never was good at history. But
Understand.
I guess I'll just say George Washington because he was our first president.
Fair.
I
Good
don't really
answer.
know.
That was actually my second answer. So I guess we got Hitler.
Yeah, our teacher went to
Peyton, who were you again? Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And then you had George Washington. Then I had Caesar.
All right.
So I guess I'll just say it all. No worries.
All right, so let's take it from the back row. Who's the spokesperson? Mr. Bull. Who had the best one?
Me, we narrowed it down.
Look down when you walk.
Oh, yeah. Who do you think did the best? Who do you think had the
Hi,
best?
Kira. All right. Yeah, I saw. My wife just sent me a picture
Yeah,
of it.
sorry, Ed. Like
Jed.
Olivia, come on.
Hold on. We got
You're going to be branching. Come on, you got to be.
They're talking. Let them talk.
they are. Yeah, they fight over it.
Doesn't matter.
I'm gonna have to mute y'all, right? No.
Okay.
All right, Jed,
Okay.
who was it?
Narrowed it down to either. He narrowed it.
Pablo Escobar or Hitler?
Ooh.
What about Manny and Zach?
So wait, is it just his opinion that those are the best ones?
Who said Hitler?
Okay. Jed is on Hitler or Pablo. All right. Hey, Jed, real quick. Why? I bet they do. All right. Front row. What we got?
We said a lot of things. We did dinosaurs, Michael Jackson, Marilyn Monroe,
Okay.
Rosa Parks.
Okay. Who's number one though? Who's number one?
Wild, bro.
I would say dinosaur. That was my. I mean, I'm team dinosaur. Like, imagine, but like, what if they're actually a chicken? No, that is a hard no on my.
I don't think that's a good answer. Are
Michael
they
Jackson
considered
was
a
a good.
historical figure?
Yeah, I don't want to meet a dinosaur. That's what I said.
That's
I
scary.
wouldn't count that as a historical figure.
And then imagine having that as like a pet. Dude, you could like ride around, be big on the buildings.
All right. Lastly, Zoomies.
We're saying
Who's
who we think is
first?
the. You're saying who we think is the best, like out of all of our options here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Olivia.
yeah,
you can
out of
go
all of
first,
our options.
branch manager.
I don't. We didn't like come up with like a group decision of who has the best one, but I
No.
would really say either Caesar or Hitler.
Okay. Well, it sounds like Hitler was the champion for today. So
Two
that's
Hitlers.
a thought.
Who else said Hitler?
I mean, it's interesting. I'll say that. So everybody, real quick, is everybody in the WhatsApp? Is there anybody that's not in the WhatsApp? Please say aye.
I
Peyton?
don't
Peyton,
think so.
Brooks, Peyton. Oh, we got to get Peyton in there. I'm gonna go ahead and add you in. All right. So Peyton, I'm gonna add
Alright.
you in right now. When it comes to our WhatsApp, here's what we do. First, we introduce ourselves. You put in your name, where you go to school, and what you were excited for. You can make this a bullet point list, or you can be fun and actually practice. I love how your WhatsApp says sleeping, by the way. That's insane. I love that.
Should be sleeping.
That's so funny. So you can put it as just bullet points, or you can go in and put that as an actual paragraph, which is actually more fun to read. Okay. So again, Peyton, I just added you. You can go into WhatsApp now and see that you're a part of our group. Introduce yourself by your name, where you go to school, and then what you are excited for. All right. When it comes to our WhatsApp, we put in hot news, we put in nuggets. This is our team like camaraderie build up, right? Like we should all be cheering for each other's success. Anytime that you learn a lesson on a demo, anytime that you talk to me or another sales manager and you're like, yo, that tip was fire, right? I love that Maddie last week called and it wasn't like the best experience on the demo, but she learned from it, right? Your bad demos are just as important as your good demos because everything is a lesson. If you did something really good on your demo, I'd probably do it on the next demo. If you did something that didn't work on your demo, you now know not to carry that to your next demo, all right? So anything that's hot news, anything that's a nugget, if you watch YouTube videos and get excited or motivational, right? I love little clips on YouTube. They're great, right? For y'all, it might be some other social media fronts, right? If it is good for the group, again, if it is good for the group, put it in, all right? And then who in here? What was that?
My TikTok says like the crackheads on the side of the road.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, right? My dad does not have any social media. And it's funny because he's sworn off and against them. But this man sends us TikTok reels all the time. And I'm like, Dad, like, I don't even have a TikTok. Like, what? Are you serious right now? So, who in here has sold knives before? So, if you have a question on a demo and somebody didn't answer on the office line, what could you probably do?
Text them WhatsApp.
What an idea, right? So, that's what you're able to use it for. Anytime that you need help with a demo, an order, anything like that, make sure that you put it in the WhatsApp. Okay. So, today we have a special guest speaker. Somebody that, as you know, I've been recognizing for consistent performance. This individual has 9 demos ahead, 12 demos ahead. On top of that, he's now at $6,000 in sales, 25% commission. Who in here's like, dang, I can't wait to be making 25%. Who in here's over here like, okay, I'm already a little bit past 25%. Right? So it doesn't matter where you're at. When it comes to consistency, this man has been doing the job. So without further ado, I'm going to give Mr. Wallace the floor. This man has prepared a slideshow and everything for his talk. Give him the respects that you would pay me. Everybody, let me see that pen and paper ready for notes.
Already in front of me.
All right, all right, all right. Without further ado, Mr. Wallace, the floor is now yours. Welcome to your first official talk.
No one else is clapping.
Here's the yeah, we'll redo that. Welcome to your first official talk. There we go. Right. So you have your slides right here. They're on the screen behind you. Right. Clicker right there. Right. So can go forward.
All right.
Teacher just got that same clicker. And I said, wow, I've seen that before.
It's a good clicker.
So he asked me to speak about like decisions and how I stay consistent planning. I believe that decisions that equal your results. Every day you wake up and the decisions you make will determine the reality and what all you can achieve. There's a couple things that I believe that is what helps me stay productive and stay planning. The first one being that God calls us to work. It says it in the Bible in Colossians 3:23. He calls us to work for him. So it's important not to work for selfish desires, but it's a blessing that every day we can wake up. So every day I wake up, I try to work for him and be a light for somebody because you never know who's watching. The second thing that I believe is that the quality of your decisions will determine the quality of your life, meaning what you do now. I read a stat that you make about 37,000 decisions a day. And although you might think 2 of those don't matter, every single decision you make will determine how successful or how far you can get or how not as far that you could get. Third thing that I believe is that your decisions determine your direction, and then your direction determines your destiny. I say this because for me, this like for my friend group, the decisions that I make with my friends, who I surround myself with, like-minded people, it will determine my destiny. And I want to succeed later on in life. So therefore I try to surround myself with people who want to do the same. And then lastly, for me, like I know my priorities and I want to find a good balance between those. Like you don't want to be a workaholic, or I don't want to be a workaholic. But I also don't want to be that dude that just hangs around and doesn't do anything with his life. A good analogy, my dad told me this when I was little, and I just carried it with me, and it helps me put it into perspective. If you have a glass jar and you fill it up with sand first and then try to fill it up with rocks, the rocks won't go in the jar. But if you fill it up with rocks first and then the sand will go in between the rocks. And what that means is like every day you have an empty jar. And then the first stuff you got to do is put the rocks in, or like the big priorities and the stuff that you for sure want to get done. And after that, you can fill the sand or the small stuff, the fun stuff, the smaller priorities in your life after that. So therefore, at the end of the day, you have a full jar or a day of accomplishments. So personally, for me, planning and being productive has really always came easy. I've been OCD my whole life, where like I know what I want to do and I have a certain way I do it all. So the first thing that I do or always done is just plan to be productive. What I mean is I know my priorities right now. My top priorities are obviously academics first, and then work and social. So in each and every one of those, I plan to be productive. So like for academics, if I've got schoolwork, I've always been the type of dude to get it done as soon as possible. I hate last minute plans. I hate doing stuff last minute. For work, I say I want to book X amount of appointments in a week. I try to do that well in advance. And then with social, that's with my friends or like my family. When I'm with them, I want to be fully attentive to them, and I don't want to be worrying about outside stuff because your friends, I mean, the people you surround yourself with determine who you are. So you want to be fully attentive to them, and you want them to be fully attentive to you when you're around them. And the second thing I do is I prepare. Big thing for me is to be realistic. I've always been the type of dude that wants to be perfect in everything. And however, like it's good to set unrealistic goals sometimes to achieve more. But at the same time, perfectionism is not possible. So if you set unrealistic goals nonstop, you're just going to come to roadblocks and get upset with yourself and beat yourself up about it. And then once I be realistic and set those goals, I time block with what all I need to be done and create a idea of how long, each and everything that I need to do will take. And then from there, I put it into my Google Calendar so I can have something to follow. And I know I have something to look back on to stay on track and not get sidetracked on other stuff. And then what I like to look ahead, I like to stay at least 2 weeks out on everything. For instance, like 2 Thursdays from now, I know exactly what I'm doing from what time I'm waking up to what time I'm going to bed. And then fourth thing I do is I maximize and sacrifice if needed. What I mean by that is that I take advantage and I be in the moment, like for anything, whether that be academics. That might sound backwards, no one likes homework, but the time that I do homework, I take advantage because it sucks in the moment, but it's one day it's going to get me a diploma, and it's going to be able to let me do what I want to do after college. And then being in the moment, like I say that with my friends, like I maximize my time with my friends and I like to be in the moment with them because tomorrow's not guaranteed. So I just like to soak up every moment with everybody. And then no distractions. That typically I'm talking about like for academics or homework. I like to get stuff done as quick as possible. So therefore I limit my distractions because if I have distractions, if I have my phone faced up, or if I have friends in the room, I'm going to talk to my friends or get on my phone and not be as productive as I can be. So I think for me, limiting the distractions is really what helps me be the most productive. And then lastly, this is just diving in at a 300-foot view. This works for me, but I think this just goes for everybody. Time management for me, I've been blessed that it really comes naturally. Like everybody told me when I get to college, it'll hit me, but it hasn't really yet. It might down the road, but for me, how I manage my time efficiently, I create a laundry list. And that's not like I take a pen and paper. I don't take a pen and paper and write down everything. I just have a list in my head of everything I need to get done. And from that list, I prioritize what needs to be done first, all the way to like what can wait if need be, because there's never enough time. Everyone has the same 24 hours. We're all in a hurry everywhere we go. But the excuse of I didn't have enough time or I was busy, for me, I try to never let it come into play because everyone has 24 hours and it's what you do within that 24 hours that either sets you up for success, or if you're lazy and prefer scrolling 24/7, then it's just going to be a major setback. And then I believe there's multiple secrets to success, but this is probably the one for me at least. I had a coach of mine who told me this my junior year, and I've remembered it since. You got to know your calendar, and you can't let other people own or persuade it. Now, I don't say that I don't say that selfishly. I try to be a selfless person and give, but at the end of the day, it's your life. You have one shot at it. So when you got to get something done in a timely order, you got to get it done, and you can't be persuaded by others trying to talk you out of it, or say, come do this with me, come do that. When you know the better options, what you're doing, and then once you know your schedule, orient your time to what's most important and maxing that out. Kind of piggybacking up on the last slide. Everybody has different important things in their life. Some people it's obviously academic. Some people it may be collegiate sports. Some people it may be just work. So whatever is most important to you is what you're going to prioritize. It's what you're going to get done every single day, no matter what. And then maxing out, just piggybacking on the no distractions. You have 24 hours. So every single second that you're up, I just try to max out, make the most of it, and just be in the moment. So that's all the key things for me that really help me be productive, help me plan. It's hard sometimes to plan for me, but most of the time it kind of does come easy. I think it's just because how I've been raised, but those are all the key ways that help me stay so planned and productive in my time. So yeah.
So that was fire. Hold on before you step down, right? What questions do we have for Zach, who's been running 7 to 10 demos a week on average, selling at least 500 up to 1,000 plus a week, consistently on newsletter? What questions do we have?
How many demos do you try to do in a day?
1, 2, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I try to do 1. Tuesday, Thursday, I don't have class. So I try to do 2 on those days. And then Saturday, Sunday, I don't do any. So yeah.
Good question. Who else? Let's get at least 2 or 3 more. Zach's definitely taking his productive time to give us the goods.
How do you stay motivated?
Ooh.
For me, I stay motivated for I'll say academic wise. I want to be a financial planner. That's always been my dream. And I know that if I don't get a diploma and I don't succeed in academics, then I'm not going to get to that step. here, it sells, so it's giving me knowledge that'll only help me be better after college. Knowing how to sell stuff to people, knowing how to build connections, and then that's really it. Social, I mean, you don't really need to. If you're trying to stay motivated to hang out with friends, then you probably need to pick some new friends.
Saying like see your future in your present.
Yeah, like I know it's helping me in the here and now, but if you look at it from afar, I realize that it's going to put me in places 10 years down the road that I wouldn't be if I'm not putting in the work now and just living the college life of partying and all that. So yeah.
Cool. I like it. It's good. I have one, but I want to go last. So let's get one more good question.
How do you plan your time out so far? Like, how do you know what you're doing 2 weeks from today?
Well, class is simple. And then I wake up every morning at 5. So I work out right when I wake up. So really after class is free time. So I schedule in the free time, obviously. I mean,
When do you go to bed?
about 9:30.
Okay,
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you were saying scheduling your free time. How do you do it?
Yeah. I prioritize, like, priority wise, like work and family is going to come first. And then obviously I try to create like every day 30 minutes to an hour to hang out with my buds. Now, obviously, sometimes like life's going to happen and I'm going to have to go off the course of my planner. But for the most part, that's how I go about it.
I love it. My question is around how do you handle stress, right? Because you're running a busy schedule or trying to. Some days maybe we're free. But how do you manage the stress factor of it?
I really don't get stressed out.
Oh.
You're just perfect. You don't stress.
I mean, like
Why
I get
is
stressed.
that though? Why is that though? What's your belief around stress and how do you handle it? Like, why is it something you don't deal with?
Because like, I mean, I know mistakes are going to happen. I know I'm going to fall short. We all fall short every day. So like, I mean, I just know mistakes are going to happen, but I believe that I can learn more from mistakes than successes. So like when I fall short or when I do the wrong thing or when I don't make a sell or when I not fail, but like make a bad grade on an exam or something, learning from those mistakes allow me to become better. So it's just the perspective on what you would consider losses in life for me that I think just helps me not stress out or beat myself up about it. But I mean, I stress out sometimes on stuff like big stuff. Sometimes I stress about, but being busy or having a busier schedule hasn't ever stressed me out because I'm the type of guy, like if I lay down for like 20 minutes, I got to get up and move. I hate staying still. So I got to get moving and do stuff.
I love that. Everybody, round of applause for Mr. Wallace. That was fire. All right, let me get 3 top takeaways because I have literally 2 pages of notes. Like that was good. All right, I literally told him last night, hey, you're gonna talk tomorrow. So, dude, good job. That was great. All right, real quick, let's get 2 from Zoom and then 2 in person. We'll do 4 takeaways real quick. Zoomies.
Laundry list. Just always have that list of the things in your head. Of course, you have your stuff on your phone, like what you planned out, but something might come up and you have to things around. So the laundry list of just always having those things in your head that you need to do. I think that was probably one of the best.
I love
It's
that.
always keeping it cognitive.
Little bonus tip, by the way, and this is something that I started literally last night because I was like, I need to figure this out. How do I, like, all these little ideas that I have that would be great to execute on, how do I actually make sure those stay in front of me? And so I created a group with Asita and myself, who, if y'all haven't met Asita yet, she changed her title from executive assistant to chief of staff. So when you see her, she's my chief of staff.
No assistant.
Yes. So one thing I did was created a WhatsApp between just the 2 of us. And it's literally my laundry list, right? Okay, cool. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. And either I'll work on it or she'll work on it. But you can actually do that just with yourself in WhatsApp. Just message yourself, right? And that can become your laundry list. Somebody else from Zoom.
I like the glass jar with rocks and sand analogy.
That was a good one, right? I've given a talk on that at a SC2 conference back when we were doing it over Zoom. So I love that you brought that up. And what's really cool, the book I've been reading, Buy Back Your Time, literally talked about it too. And that guy makes millions. So like, it might be a good analogy, right? In person, takeaways. Molly.
Knowing that like perfectionism isn't possible and that it's okay to make mistakes. So it's like not just like not being afraid, but like embracing them in a way and knowing that you're gonna get something good out of it and you're gonna be better the next time.
Yeah, right. That's a big one, right? I've dealt with anxiety before, right? How you eliminate it, as Zach kind of said, is you're just planned out. If you have everything that's in your head already in your schedule, you know it's going to get taken care of when it's that time. I was talking with Audrey as she was over here like, oh, well, I got this demo on Sunday and I got to drive this far. She has a concert tomorrow. And I'm like, are you excited for the concert right now? What was your answer? No, why?
Because it's not tomorrow.
Right. Tomorrow's when she'll be excited for the concert. So why would we do the opposite when it comes to different tasks we need to execute 3-4 days out? We stress about it before the task. We don't stress about it a week out, right? And that helps us not be as anxious because we're not perfect. Love that, right? One more?
The quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life.
Oh, nugget. Like if you heard that outside of here, that would be a WhatsApp drop. So one more round of applause for Mr. Wallace. That was great, man. That was good. Right? And what's really cool is this will be on YouTube. So you'll get to share that back and flip it, start your own little personal podcast. All right. So
We like
I'm gonna tell Kira to go and clip it. Be like, hey, we need to.
Can we get this on a life motivational podcast?
Yeah, can we just get this featured on the KnifeKnox channel, please? Like, just help us out. Just help us out real quick, you know.
Just that portion.
So everybody, like I said, we had a guest speaker after Mr. Wallace, but he's in Miami. So Mr. Wallace, yeah, I don't know if Raymond would have followed that up. So that's awesome. Okay. So social media post time. All right. When we make our social media post, 865 student work is where you go on your phone to get the Google document. All right. What's been really cool is my interviews have been amazing because of this program. Literally recruiting some sharp people. One of them, Caitlin Festi, put it on the UTK Snapchat page. And she's like, yeah, I don't even know who posted it. But I was like, yo, this seems pretty cool. Let me check it out. She's sharp, right? I have a bunch of people from Laney, from Donica, and from y'all's posts just from this program, right? And here's the thing. You don't know who's actually going to see it. You don't know if they're going to be like, oh my God, thank you for like just giving me an opportunity. I've been looking for something different, something that can help me actually skill build, right? So as I said, today, I'm going to do $10 of Cutco bucks at my third cost, which means that for doing it today, you actually get 30 Cutco bucks for making your post. So I'm going to turn up the tunes today, post it in the WhatsApp. When you've completed that way I can keep track of it a little bit easier too. Let's have this done in 6 minutes. They're going to think like, whoa, is this a hardcore job?
Oh, so hardcore, so hardcore. She got injured during this job.
I'm going to set this timer for 6 minutes as well. I'll turn this recording on pause for this 6 minutes as well. All right, I'm going to give 30 more seconds.
Wait,
We got Jed.
Wait, I want to make it.
We got
pretty.
Carter.
Let me make it pretty really quickly. I'm almost done posting. I have mine. I just gotta screenshot it. I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
I'd rather be with you.
Job question mark?
We got Peyton's on there. Dude, Peyton with the long hair. What?
I was very confused.
Oh yeah, back in high school.
You said
That is dope, dude.
Peyton,
Yo,
you still do music?
a little bit. I'm at a music school.
Oh, did y'all
He said I'm at a music school.
Yeah.
Yes, they went to Nama on Monday. That was dope too. We got Zach.
I did not go.
We're just waiting on Molly. So we're gonna move forward.
Wait, I posted it though. It's like right here. It's right here. It's
Cool.
right here.
You're good.
You know, I didn't think you even bought that.
All right. So let's talk about the spring schedule real quick. / moving into summer mode. All right. What time do we need vector impact verified by? Everybody together now.
Monday night, 10 p.m.
Everybody together now. Everybody together now. It's on the board, by the way.
On Monday night, 11 p.m.
Monday.
Yes.
Monday night.
Monday at 11. Okay. Who in here's had a demo marked on Tuesday canceled? Because they didn't verify the vector impact. Right? And here's what this does. If it cancels it, in my system, it shows as you didn't do the demo. So if you don't mark them completed, you can mark a demo completed after 45 minutes of the start time. Okay. I ran into an issue last week with Cade because he somehow set a demo across 4 days. It started on Friday. It ended on Monday. Right. So he's like, oh, I figured it out. Right. So make sure that you're marking these things correctly. Next week's team meeting is the last one that will start at 6. Okay. The week after that, we are moving it to 5:30. And everybody make sure that you write this down. Parents' night, where you can invite your parents in. They can meet us. I'm going to have pizza. We're going to do a game night afterwards for team night out. That is going to be 2 Thursdays from now. So the 24th at 7 p.m. Again, the 24th at 7 p.m. I'm going to start texting everybody to make sure I have the right parent that you want me to text to invite them. I would love to meet all of your parents. And what I find is that when somebody goes to a parents meeting, all of a sudden they're extra supportive of you because they see what we do, right? Who in here's had a parent where it's like, I know they have more leads, but oh my God, they just won't give them to me, right?
My mom is stingy.
Whenever you have them in and they meet me, they see what we do, they hear what we talk about, they want to support you more, all right? So make sure that you get your parent, at least one of them, ideally both, right? I'd love to meet both of them. Have them here for the parents meeting. So again, on the 24th at 7 p.m., that is going to be parents' nights, okay? Our next team night out is also going to be that night. I'm going to be ordering pizza in, and we're going to do a game night where we'll have a bunch of different games going. I'll have Xboxes plugged up. If you'd rather play video games, that's cool. All right, so make sure that you have that in your schedule, okay? As far as staff meeting for managers, we will be moving that time. I'll discuss that with my managers. Key staff, next week, it officially shifts to Wednesday nights, okay? Wednesday night, 5:30. If you get on my key staff, again, Wednesday at 5:30 is when we will be having our next key staff meeting. Get there, especially if you're on my key staff. It is the only required meeting that we do. That said, for those that have attended key staff, do I deliver the goods?
Yes.
It's worthwhile, okay? It's me being able to take more time than 10 minutes to really dive into a topic about closing skills, about phoning skills, recommendations, how to better show up in your appointments, build rapport. So make sure that you have key staff in your calendar. Now, as far as campus goes, campus is done. All right. We have no more campus events. I have a couple of talks I'm going to be doing with Farragut's DECA Club and then Carnes High School's DECA Club. But that said, there's no more campus events to attend. So the next events that you should have in your calendar, May 6th and 13th, is the Sales Leadership Development Meeting with Mr. Parker Greavy. Have that in your schedule. You only need to attend one the entire summer. And after talking, Parker and I are narrowing it down to where there's only going to be 5. Typically, he does about 12 throughout the summertime. This summer, we're making it more selective to be able to get invited to it. And at the same time, making it to where it's a bigger group going for each event. Okay. So make sure that you get to SLDM. If you've not earned an invitation, ask me how you do. Now, divisional meeting is going to be May 28th in Nashville. Divisional meeting May 7th, because the Tuesday, whatever that Tuesday is in Nashville. This is where we're all going to drive out to Nashville. This is after everybody's finished school. We're going to have the entire division together, the Johnson City and Tri-Cities office. We're going to have Knoxville and we're going to have Greenville driving out to Nashville for this event. It's going to be epic. And I'm really excited that we have 3 offices in the East Tennessee division. It's not official, right? But it's going to be official when we take over Chattanooga. Driving out to Parker's one office. That said, Parker's a boss for a reason, okay? So we might have like 10 more with all 3 offices than his entire office if we do this right. If we really do this right, we could have double, triple Parker's office in attendance and make him have to take it from the office to actually renting us a hotel to be able to have the conference in. That is my goal. I want to have so many people that we won't fit in his office. That's exciting. Okay. And then some other events. All right. We have boot camp. Everybody write this down. Boot camp is going to be May 19th through the 23rd. Again, boot camp is going to be May 19th through the 23rd. This is going to be one of 2 champions clubs that I run. All the other champions clubs are going to be worthwhile because I'm going to be training my sales managers on how to run them. That said, you want to get to my boot camp. Every representative that has attended my boot camp in the past 3 summers has made it to the end of the summer and sold at least 10 to 20K over the course of the summer. In my boot camp, we do a lot of drill for skill, so you know your scripts. We take the time to really help you make a good summer schedule. And we really dive into all of those other soft skills. How do you actually shake somebody's hands? How do you make good eye contact? When do you look at your script? When do you come back up? When is it important to ask questions to get feedback so you can tie your customers back in? You want to be at my boot camp, all right? I don't have the times yet because I'm deciding if I'm going to do it in the morning or evening. That's the only caveat to my boot camp. So if you have an opinion on it or for what you'd rather have, let me know. But again, as district manager, I will make that final decision. Your job is to be there, okay? Is it something you have to do? Again, is it something you have to do? Thank you, Audrey. Is it something you have to do?
No.
Is it something you get to do? Yes, if you want to, all right? Boot camp's a big deal for me. I take it very seriously. It's going to be a fun time. I even have my field trainer t-shirt up here. It's a green little army shirt that I love that we get. We give it out when you've taken 10 people field training, meaning that they see your demos. Maybe, but SC2 is getting another boot camp, which is why I was fine with it being there too. Okay. So as far as Cutco bucks, I did not add last week's in. These are just the ones from those that have helped on campus. Jed, you still have $62 left over from buying your Hardy Slicer with your Cutco bucks. Kira has $96 in Cutco bucks. Molly, for helping out at Tusculum, you got $48 in Cutco bucks as well. And I'm going to come back to the role play and the challenge for today. We'll come back to that in a second. PDI, all right, I wrote it on the board too because I want to make sure we're doing this right. When it comes to demos today, that's obvious. How many demos do you have that day? What time are they at? Okay. If you've been doing this right, cool. If not, I would take notes on this so you can start getting it right. It only lets me coach you better. All right. How many demos do you have ahead? Here's a rule of thumb that I've taught Raymond. It helps him stay successful in the business. If you follow the rule, you'll be great. If you don't follow the rule, you won't have demos. During school, 5 ahead, never stress. Again, if you were in school, 5 ahead, never stress. Because you have 5 demos ahead. If you ran out of people to call, guess what? You're probably going to complete 4 of those demos. If you average 5 recommendations per appointment, you're going to get another 20 recs. You'll be okay. If you are not in school or you're shooting for bigger goals, 10 ahead, never stress. How's it feel to have 12 ahead right now, Zach? Right? He's like, I don't stress because my schedule is kind of made out for the next month, actually. Okay. So how many demos do you have ahead? Just the number. What is your general schedule for the day? Hey, I'm waking up, going to the gym, going to school, got some studies to do later, hanging out with friends. That's all I'm looking for. I don't need to know at 9 o'clock I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock. No, I don't need all that, right? I just need a general idea of what your schedule looks like. What this does for me is allow me to hold you accountable. And what I mean by that is if it's like Friday and you're like, hey, I'm just hanging out today, and you said you wanted to do 5 demos this week, but you haven't done any demos, I'm going to challenge you to say, hey, we need to make phone calls today. Because Saturday, Sunday, best days to run demos on. You fill up your 5 over the weekend, bam, cool. You're like, hey, I'm chilling today. My goal was 5 demos. I've already done 5 demos. Awesome. Enjoy your weekend, right? It allows me to coach you better. And then from there, we have the goal for the day. Love your answer, Zach. Only thing that I would coach on this is that's not what I'm looking for, right? And his response is always, I want to be 1% better than I was yesterday. That's an awesome goal, but I can't hold somebody accountable to that, right? Hey, my goal today is to run a subpar 20-minute 3 miles. That's something that I actually want to know about, right? Hey, my goal today is that I hit 5 tumbles in my back handspring, right? That's cool, right? I want to hold somebody accountable to that. My goal today is that I make at least 50 phone calls. That's what I'm looking for with that. It gives me something tangible to hold you accountable to. And then lastly, your next phone jam with the goal. The reason that we do phone jams and team meeting for most people during school, your goal is 3 to 5 demos. If you show up at phone jam time, you're probably going to book 3 demos if you really grind your phone calls, don't get distracted.
So wait, demos ahead means it's not just for the week.
Yeah, how many total demos do you have ahead?
Oh, I've been doing that wrong then.
Like right now, I have, I think, 12 to 14 demos ahead. I have a service event on the 24th or on the 14th of June, and then I have like 3 more throughout the summer that I'm doing. Customers, literally, I send them a link, they book a time to come into it. Guess what? I get to teach you that skill set when you get there. Okay, and that's what I want to do for everybody. So in the running right now, I don't think that's accurate. It's not just Ben, because y'all been on point with PDI, especially with me texting you, good morning. Right? Anybody freak out, by the way, the first time they got that good morning text? Molly literally texted me and said, or no, it was Olivia that texted me, and she was like, oh, is everything okay? I'm kind of scared. Huh? Right?
It was random. I didn't like that.
Brandon's back at the wheel. Okay.
Nah, I did not like that.
So I want to give y'all the chance. I want to give y'all the chance to actually be accountable, because it's not like, oh, I forgot to send the text. I already texted you and said, good morning. How's your day? As we continue through the summer, it's going to start having updates. Hey, team meeting again is this. Here's the theme for it. Things like that. All right. So as far as recognition goes, this past week, our number 1 representative in the entire region. Round of applause to Miss Audrey Schuster. Hey, you realize like Jeff Bry sees your name?
No.
You realize like every single Parker Greavy, there's, by the way, another 9 of them saw your name,
Oh.
right? You know what's really cool? It's not just on the report. You actually have it. Number 1 sales rep, Audrey Schuster.
What the heck?
One more round of applause for Miss Audrey, right? By the way, have you been selling knives for a long time?
No.
When'd you, 2, 4, 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
No, like 4 days.
Woo! Right? That's fire. I love that. Okay. And I will print this off for you when I get a printer again. That way you can have it.
You lost your printer?
No, I returned it. No, I returned the printer. Yeah. Long story short, they were charging me a lot of money, so I was going to downgrade to one that was like $100 a month. And then I was like, wait a second. I've seen this printer before online. Okay, so y'all are going to lock me into a 3-year contract, 36 payments of $100 for $3,600 for a printer that costs $700. Money math tells you what?
Scam.
I would probably just go buy a printer.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy my own. Now, that said, we didn't just have one person on the front page of the newsletter, did we? If I look with my extendo glasses,
Oh, I see it.
I see another name on here. And her name's Nevaeh Hardy, number 15 in the entire region. Round of applause. Huh? Right? Have you been selling knives for like 6, 7, 8 weeks?
No, not even.
Right? How's that feel, by the way?
Pretty good, pretty shocking.
What does that teach you?
Keep striving.
That's it. Right?
I like that.
Every single one of us can be on this front page, right? To be in the top 24 in the entire region this week, you had to sell more than $863. Who in here has had an order over $300? What happened if you did that 4 times last week? What an idea, right? So as far as CSPs, just to show you what's possible, last week, Rob Robincheck sold $31,000 worth of Cutco. Bryson LeBurge, again, CSPs have the same standard. You sell more than $750 during the spring and fall, you're on the newsletter. The top Cutco sales professional, or not top, the number 32 Cutco sales professional sold $973. So Nevaeh, Audrey, y'all both sold more than the number 32 Bryson LeBurge. And by the way, this dude did $400,000 to $500,000 last year in sales. Right? So, Weekend Warriors, you sell $500 over the weekend, guess what? You get recognized. So Audrey, 2823. Over the weekend, you were the number 7, and everybody above you, by the way, is a Cutco sales professional, just so you know. All right. We look, keep going. Nevaeh Hardy, 920 over the weekend, number 32 in the entire region, counting our sales professionals as well. So everybody, first off, great job. We were also the number 3 division in the entire region as a whole. We were the number 4 district team out of all of the district teams. I'm really excited for what we're doing. All right. We're doing it right. We're number 5 in the nation for a reason right now. And that's really cool. Okay. So real quick, recognizing that, round of applause for y'all. I love that. So we have a 1K club. If you do 10 weeks in a row over $1,000, they give you 8 table knives engraved with your name on them. And that say K Club. All right. So I'm going to show these on the Zoom. You can see B Phillips K Club on it. You can pass these around. People always ask, hey, how do I get my 8 table knives from a homemaker set? You do $1,000 a week, 10 weeks in a row, right? If you look at this, Kristen Staback has 262 weeks in a row over $1,000.
God.
And her weeks are usually anywhere from 5 to 15 to 20 grand, right? So we have a 2K club. If you do $2,000 10 weeks in a row, they send you a gourmet roll-up. Every time you go to the restroom, by the way, it shows you this. I just need to get a bigger printout for it, okay? But the gourmet roll-up is the cleaver, the veggie knife, the 7-inch Santoku, the boning knife, and the 4-inch paring knife. It's pretty cool to have those pieces on your set. As Jed was saying, hey, I used the Hardy slicer trying to cut through a chicken. It was a little bit of a hassle. Guess what? If you have a cleaver, Mrs. Jones, you cut all the chicken you want. Don't cut off a finger, okay? 3K in a row. We have, right now, the number 1 person, 7 weeks in a row. Okay? That's what's possible. And then promotions, he's not here tonight because he's been battling another sickness. I told him in text, I was like, you are the most consistently sick or injured representative I've ever had on my team. But we have a new promotion, recognizing Mr. Connor Dial to advanced sales rep, hitting his 3K promotion. So really excited for where we're at, excited for what we're building. We were the number 12 office in the entire region this past week. Again, there are 10 division managers. So we're like number 2 when it comes to districts. And as far as the sales report goes, again, we were number 4 for district teams. So we are, again, the number 5 office in the entire nation right now for the premier category. For us to make the jump up to number 1, it's a $51,000 lead. I can honestly say with the people that we're bringing on the team from these social media posts, they're sharp. My goal is that we have 20 people in person for training on April 23rd. We are taking next week's training off to focus solely on recruiting. And that way, when you come in to the next team meeting in May, that first week of May, every chair in here is going to be full. I'm going to have to pull all the chairs out of there to be able to sit everybody. And that's pretty freaking exciting. So the reason I point that out is to give you the chance to step up, to be a leader, to be somebody that when these people come in, they look up to, so that you can have things like you are literally the top person for the fast start hold record that people are shooting for, right? So that you can have the President's Club letter. Because if you sell 6K from January, 8K from January to now, you get a President's Club letter. If you started in February, it's 6K. If you started in March, it's 4K. So for instance, Mr. Wallace, your President's Club letter will come at the beginning of May. And I think that's pretty cool. All right. So this week's goal is to do $8,000. That said, Audrey's probably going to do most of that.
I'm
But-
gonna do all of it.
She wants to go for a 10K fast start. It's up to y'all how much of the slice of the pie you get. I honestly feel like if we actually follow through with our demos, if we get a couple more on the board, that we'll hit over 10K this week. We'll be in the top 10 again in the entire region and maintain our positioning as top 5 in the entire nation, maybe even go up 1 notch. As far as for the week so far, here's where we're at. We have Audrey Schuster already at 1582 for the week. Caitlin Festi at 522. Maddie, what's up, girl? 233. And Mr. Wallace on the board every single week. 144 already for the week. By the way, he has a trip this weekend, so this is y'all's chance to maybe potentially beat him. But I think you have demos in the morning before you go, right?
Yeah,
So that said, leaving for a trip, but still doing work the right way. So as far as PCs go, I want you to text me right now on my office line. Here's what I want. I want you to ask me for a PC in order to help you with blank. What is it you've been struggling with most? Next week, I don't have training because I want to take the time to meet with as many people as possible to help you hit your goals. Okay. So Brandon, I'd like a PC this next week to talk about blank. Molly has been for financial planning, right? Zach and I basically had a PC the whole way home yesterday because I couldn't talk to him after his demos. Hey, I had a question about this. I'm going to give you all a secret. That's why Raymond sold $550,000 because every time he had a question, he brought it to me. And so he got better every single time. Now, parents meeting again is going to be April 24th at 7 p.m. Again, go ahead and let your parents know. So when they get my text, it's not a surprise, right? Let them know that is the date that we will be having parents meeting. It's an awesome opportunity to bring them in, right? And if you thought hitting top 15 in the nation or in the region was pretty cool, wait till I show it off in front of your parents, right? And then as far as this week's challenge, Zach brought it up. What would being planned ahead look like, right? Planning equals consistency. Consistency builds discipline. Discipline equals success. Michael Phelps has all of his accolades because instead of going and practicing 1 or 2 times a day, he would go 3 times a day. And not only that, he would train in a pool that was 3 degrees colder than what he would be swimming in because he wanted to feel like a breeze when he got in the pool, in the Olympic pool. Do the hard work now. And if you do, you're going to crush your finals. You're going to be able to sell around your finals still. And you're going to walk into summer having a fresh list of leads that you're excited to call because now your schedule doesn't have all the conflicts it has right now. So everybody, you know the office line. The Cutco bit.ly link for the Zoom is bit.ly/CutcoKnoxZoom. So you can type that in your browser. It brings you right in. Or you can just use the office phone number and then the password's Cutco with a capital C if you ever need to hop in over Zoom. Call in after every demo. It's required to verify it. That said, Jed and Molly are officially sales managers in the office. So, little round of applause for them. They've sold over 10 grand, right? They know how to do the job. So when you call in, whether you get me, you get them, they can help you with your questions too. And if they can't, again, write them down, bring them to me. They'll probably ask me too, so that way they're ready the next time to be able to answer those calls. Okay. Everybody, I'm Brandon Phillips with the 865KnifeKnox. I'm not sure if y'all heard it, but we're number 5 in the nation, and we're going to do $1 million this year. I love that. I love that so much. Everybody on Zoom, appreciate your time. If you have questions, definitely hold back and be able to ask those. And again, if you haven't sent the text yet, send it now. What do you want a PC with me about? Office phone number is still on the screen.